Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Michael Hartley with Action Coach. What needs to pivot in my business, kickstart your day, get you refocused, because business is changing daily right now. Good day, everybody. I am Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business, and today's topic is you, the things that you must pivot in your own life, in your own mindset. When we look at your business, pivoting, shifting, reopening, opening for the first time, wherever you may be in that life cycle of a business, there are things that as an owner, as a CEO, we must focus on. And so that's really what we're going to talk about, is the top 2 things to focus on in the mind. So let's dive in. Why do you make the decisions that you do? Think about it. If you ever were in sports and like that, early on, growing up, the desire to win, the desire to be the best, whatever that may be, the desire to make any decision growing up. Think of the most successful you've ever been in life. What caused you to actually make those decisions? It's not good enough to say, I just did it. You have to drill deeper into the actual purpose. What was the actual reasoning on why you made those decisions? When you can unlock that, when you can unlock the purpose behind why you've made some of the best decisions you've ever done, why you've ever made the decision to push through when you thought that you couldn't push any harder, why you make those decisions, and only you can answer that. When you sit for a moment and you actually think through it and you identify, here are some of those traits that I have seen in myself on why, when I think that I'm just going to give up, I push that extra bit, and that's what pushes me to be successful, whatever that is. Now we can do something with it. What causes you to actually push through? Because guess what? Being a business owner can be one of the most stressful things to ever do. It's statistically one of the top 2 loneliest jobs in the world. So when you look at being a business owner, when you look at what you do and why you do it, what causes you to push through? Because really, there's got to be some sort of crazy in you, because if there wasn't, you would never be a business owner. You'd never be willing to push through all the crap. So what makes you make the decisions that you do? What's that purpose behind it? What pushes you when you think that you're going to stop, to go, you know what? No, I'm not going to stop. We're going to push through this thing. We're going to be better on the other end of it. Second thing, stress. Stress does not come from the facts. Stress comes from how you interpret the facts. Let me state that again. Stress does not come from the facts themselves. Stress comes from our interpretation of them. Stress comes from the way that we feel about certain things, which start with the words that go on in our mind. It starts with your mindset and from how you interpret certain things. Think about, if you had never swam with sharks before and someone just threw you in and you didn't know about it, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of sharks in the ocean around you, the stress level you may have is probably going to be through the roof. When you look at professional divers who swim with sharks on a daily basis, their stress level is almost non-existent, because their perception, how they're interpreting the situation, is very different. The first time as a business owner you walk through a certain situation that causes a high amount of stress, it could be the first time that you lose a big client. It could be the first time you have a major need to have a really difficult conversation with a team member. It could be a variety of different things. The first time you go through it, your interpretation of what's going on could cause a whole lot of stress. Once you've done it a handful of times, that's no longer there, because the way you interpret the situation, the task at hand, the facts in front of you, it's a lot different. You've walked through it. This is why there's a big difference between, we talked about this last week, the difference between knowledge and know-how. Knowledge is just head knowledge, right? It's education. I've read it in a book. I've gone to a conference. I've watched it in a video. Know-how is the actual application of that knowledge. This is why coaching is so important, because all the information, all the books have been written, all the information is already out there somewhere. What coaching does is it allows you to take the knowledge and turn it into know-how. Here's how we apply it. Here's how we work through the situation, which then brings clarity, which then reduces the stress levels and things like that. So when you look at a stressful situation, understand it's your perception of it that causes the stress. And then what needs to be worked through to alleviate that, to reduce it, those kind of things. Which brings us to the third major point for this morning, for today, which is Kaizen. Never-ending, constant improvement. The Japanese hit the nail on the head with this. And they live it, they breathe it every single day. Never-ending, constant improvement for myself. Kaizen. I translate that into being the constant student. Because before you can take knowledge and turn it into know-how, you have to have the knowledge, the education first of whatever that may be. So knowledge, education, being the constant student is not about what do I enjoy learning about. It's about what are the areas in my life, in my leadership, in my management, whatever that may be, that I must improve upon. And for some of us, you may need a certain level of understanding and know-how, and then hire other people to go do it for you. And there may be things that you do not delegate or are unable to delegate. And so you must then increase the knowledge to then increase the know-how and experience on how to make it application, make it applicable. This is why when we see those that are ridiculously successful in life, they grow and then they plateau, and then they grow more and then they plateau, and then they grow and then they plateau. For those that don't massively become successful in life, they grow and plateau and then they just stay there. I'm good, right? Okay, life is good. I'm not gonna rock the boat. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at, and I can stay here for life. They've plateaued. So the question for you is, are you going to be a business owner that is plateauing and then that's the status quo for life and you're content with it? Or are you going to push past that? Going back to the very first point, are you gonna identify what causes you to push past that, to desire to grow more, to then understand how to interpret it and turn it into know-how, turn it into application for you and for your business? These are three critical principles for you to pivot today. What causes you to make the decisions and push through those barriers that you will have consistently, and they will be new. You will push past one, and guess what? It's not like you're past them all. You'll get to the next one. What causes you to say, I'm pushing through? Then Kaizen, constant, never-ending improvement. Be the constant student. Go, okay, what do I now need to go learn to make me better, which will then benefit the business and allow it to stop plateauing and start to grow? Which then gets us to the third point, which is stressful situations are only stressful to us in the moment because of how we interpret it, what's going on. And when you take the knowledge and turn it into better know-how, it reduces that. It allows us to think more clearly, to see it through a different lens. Again, if you walk up to a third grader and say, here's some trigonometry, best of luck, your life depends on it, the level of stress that you just put on that poor kid or on yourself, if you put yourself at that age, is through the roof. And yet, if you focused for 5 years on understanding trig and then all of a sudden they gave you that same test, guess what? Your stress would be non-existent. You'd be able to work through it, which is why this instant gratification we have in life right now can become a detriment to growth, because people want instant gratification. And some things take months. Sometimes it takes years to work through certain things. And yet we want instant gratification to go, well, if I'm not getting that result I'm looking for right now, then this is not worth it. This, whatever it is, right? This marketing plan, this, I'm trying to improve my workout regimen. And guess what? Well, it's been 2 weeks and nothing's changed. The instant gratification can be a detriment to us, truly, because some things, honestly, do take an amount of time to build the momentum. It takes 66 days alone just to create a new habit. So if it takes that long for us to create a new habit, think about how long it may take to actually get results of that new routine that we just created. which is why every 90 days, we rewrite our plan. It takes 66 days alone to build a new routine. And so things that you just came out of, the previous 30 days, the previous 60 days, the previous 90 days, certain things have been moved forward. Certain things have not. When you think about the current state of our world, the past quarter, a lot different than what most people most likely anticipated it would be. So for your business, the next 90 days, we have to look at it. And every 90 days after that, if this year 2020 has not proven to you already, nothing me, the fact that a yearly plan is not good enough. Setting 1-year targets is phenomenal. And targets should never change. Goals, dreams should never change. The path to get there, we may need to reroute ourselves a few times on the path there. And so when we look at the year to date so far, it has proven over and over again that we must then reshift our plan every 90 days. And I encourage you to then create 30-day sprints within the 90 days. So you have a 90-day plan and you have 30-day sprints within them. Kickstart it strong and then reevaluate, tweak. And then the next 90 days, okay, think of it like a sports game, right? If you go to a basketball game, there's 4 quarters, just like in a year. And you prepare for the game. You have a game plan out and the team is implementing that plan in the first quarter. And some things happen in the first quarter and maybe you're down a little bit. And then, okay, in between quarters, we have a couple minutes real quick. Here's some tweaks we're going to make. And then you get to halftime. And now you get a moment to have a hard reset for the game. All right, we just came out of the first half. Here are some things that we're noticing. We're about to jump into the third quarter. Game plan has shifted. Here's what we're going to go do. And then the team implements that plan. And again, between Q3, Q4, the team has a quick moment to reshift and then finish that game strong. Business is no different. We're about to hit our halftime. We are about to hit halftime for this year. And the first half, if I'm being honest with you, has been a shit show. So it's time to hit pause. It's time to hit halftime and go, let's reset our game plan for the second half of this game, known as 2020. So join us. Join us on Wednesday, June 24th, and create the plan your business actually needs to make those pivots. The plan your business needs for you to understand how to get out of a potential plateau moment and what you need to grow in as a business owner. To identify how to reduce stress in stressful situations with clarity, which comes through knowledge and know-how. And part of that planning process is the know-how. Stop giving attention to what you don't want. Start keeping your attention towards what you do want. Stop giving attention to what you don't want and start focus your attention on the things that you do. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm here to elevate your business, enhance your lifestyle. And if you're not connected with me, get connected online. Looking forward to the conversations we have moving forward. If you have questions, put them in the comments, put them in the chat. Happy to answer any of them. If not, make it a phenomenal week and we'll see you soon. Bye for now, y'all.